Hi dear students, welcome back to the section of Mathematics of class 10. So today we are going to study the MCQs of the new chapter Polynomials. So dear students, as we are getting very near to the exam and you know that term 1 is going to become only in MCQs, right? So we have to know the tricks how to get an answer for MCQs in a very easier and the simpler method. Once you know the trick, very fast you can do your exams. So here goes the tricks of polynomials. So first of all, let me define what a polynomial is. We already studied about the chapter polynomials in our previous sessions. And today, let me just introduce a little bit about polynomials. The things which you have to understand is, first of all, you must know what the term polynomial is. Polynomial means it's an algebraic expression, right? It's an algebraic expression. It can be in x, it can be in y, it can be in t. Most probably we are studying in x and y. Specifically in this chapter we are going to study about two polynomials. One is the second degree polynomial, which is called the quadratic polynomial, and next one is the third degree polynomial, and that's what we call the cubic polynomial. And we know that for a quadratic polynomial the degree is 2. And now there comes a question, what does it mean by the degree? The degree means the highest power of the given polynomial. If you're taking a polynomial, inside the polynomial you have to check each variable. You know that there is a variable part, there is a constant part, right? So inside each variable, when you're checking the highest powers, and if the highest power is 2, that polynomial is what we call a quadratic polynomial, and if the highest power is 3, then that typical polynomial is what we call as cubic polynomial. So keep this in your mind. And when you're hearing the word cubic polynomial, it means the degree is 3, and when you're hearing that the degree is 3, it means that there are 3 roots, namely alpha, beta and gamma, right? So what about quadratic polynomial? It's of degree 2. When you hear that it is of degree 2, it should come in your mind that they are having 2 roots, or they are having 2 roots of this equation, namely alpha and beta. And today we are going to study about these alpha, beta, gamma, how to deal with these things, how to understand the degree of a polynomial, how to find the roots of an equation, and how to find the value of k, 1 by alpha, 1 by beta. All these things together we are going to get. So here goes the very first question before you. Which of the following is not a polynomial? So here a list is given, and from this one you have to find which one is not a polynomial. So first of all, you have to understand what is the basic concept of polynomial. So the basic concept of polynomial means inside a polynomial, regarding the powers of the polynomial, the powers should be integers. It should not become any fractional numbers. It should not become any negative numbers. It should be positive integers, or it can be 0. I repeat, it can be positive integers or it can be 0 also. Doesn't matter. X raised to 0. You can write like that also. So it should not become x raised to minus 1. So whenever in a polynomial, if you are seeing a given statement in which minus 1 is given as the power, then definitely we will say it is not a polynomial. So we have to focus on the variable part, not on the constant part. Keep this in your mind. You have to focus on the variable part. So now let us take this question, and from this question you can see there are 4 options given here. Options we are going to mention here. Here are the options. So from these options, one of them is not a polynomial. So which is that one? So very fast, how to understand this one, you have to check only the variable part. Don't focus on the constant part. Means there is nothing to check on the numerical part, numbers part. Just check on the variable part. So let us check one by one. From the first one, x square, here it is x, that's over. X cube, x square, x, it's also okay, because I told you in the power it should not be a negative number. The power should not be a negative number, and it should not be a negative, means it should not come on the denominator part also. If the variable is coming in the denominator part, it is considered as a negative one, negative power, because 1 by x is what we call x raised to minus 1, right? So like that, these are the 2 things which you have to mention. So see here, in this one you can see x plus 1 by x is given, right? X plus 1 by x. So what is this 1 by x? Right now I told you it is x raised to minus 1. So the power will become minus. So definitely we can say this one is not a polynomial. But this is, right? Because x square, x, that's all. So from this one you can see this is the odd one, and so we will say that this is not a polynomial. So this is the way how to understand which of them is correctly a polynomial and which is not. Okay, hope you understood. Let's go into the next question. So here goes the second question before you. The polynomial in y is given. P of y is equal to 3y raised to 4 minus 5y cube plus y square plus 8. So this is the polynomial, and specifically you can see the variable is y. So we will say it is P of y. It is a variable in y. Now you have to find P of minus 1. So how will you find minus 1? Just substitute the value for minus 1. So very simply 3 into wherever you are finding y, just substitute the value of minus 1 there. Keep it within brackets. Raised to 4 minus 5 into minus 1 raised to 3 plus minus 1 square plus 8 is equal to. Actually, when you are doing for 3 marks, you have to follow every steps. But here, as we are coming, I told you initially that we have to get this answer within 1 minute. So we are not going that much far. So here goes the tip behind you. Whenever you are taking a negative number and the square of the negative number or the power of the negative number, if it is even, then definitely the sign will become positive. And when the power becomes odd, the sign will be negative itself. Keep this in your mind. So keeping that in your mind, we can say minus 1 raised to 4, it's raised to an even number. So definitely 1 into 1, minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1. So again 1 into 1 into 1 into 1 is 1 itself. So it will be positive 1. 1 into 3, you will get 3 itself. Now minus, here already 5 is there. Then here minus 1 raised to 3. Minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1. So as here you can see it is an odd number. So again it will become minus 1 itself. Minus 1 into minus 5, it is plus 5. Minus and minus will become plus. Then here minus 1 square is plus 1. Then finally plus 8. So how much it will be? 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus 1 is 17. You got P of minus 1 is equal to 17. So this is the right answer and you can choose that one. So this is the way how to understand that one, right? So now let us get into the question number 3. So here goes the third question before you. A polynomial in y is given, y cube minus 2y square minus root 3y plus 1 by 2. You have to find the degree of this polynomial. How to find the degree? It's very easy. You have to check every variables. Which variables are here? Here there is a variable, here there is a variable, here also you can see a variable. Now check the powers. What is the highest power or which is the biggest power? That is regarded as the degree. So tell me which is the biggest power? 3 is the biggest power, right? Here the 3 is the biggest power. So we will say this is the degree. So the degree of this polynomial is 3. So that's it. So in fraction of a second you are getting the answer, right? So this is the way how to understand. Just check. It may be given in different orders. This question may be given like this also. Minus 2y square plus y cube. It doesn't matter where the y cube is lying. It doesn't matter. But check every variables. And where you find the biggest power, that is what we regard as the degree of that particular polynomial. That's it. Hope it's very easy, right? Okay, climbing to the next question. So here goes the next question before you. Question number 4. So here the question is like this. The polynomials ax cube plus 3x square minus 3 and 2x cube minus 5x plus a, which when divided by x minus 4 gives the same remainder. Find the value of a. That means when this polynomial is divided by x minus 4 and when this polynomial is also divided by x minus 4, the remainder which you obtain is same. And in our 9th class, we have studied about remainder theorem, right? By remainder theorem, you can understand that if x minus 4 is divisible, if it is divided by this one, if you want to find the remainder, how will you find the remainder? First of all, what you have to do? You have to equate this x minus 4 to 0, right? X minus 4 is equal to 0. That means x is equal to 4. So, in the first equation, if you are giving x is equal to 4, if you are substituting the value of 4 in the first equation, you will get the remainder. That's the meaning. And in the second equation also, if you are substituting this x is equal to 4 in the second equation, there also you will get the remainder. And as per as our question, we understood that both of the remainders are same. Both of the remainders are same. So what we have to do? We have to equate these two remainders together. So finding the first remainder, how will you find the first remainder? I told you, instead of x, you have to substitute the value of 4 here. So let us try out here. So a is there itself, a into, instead of x we are given to go 4, that much cube plus 3 into, again x is there, so 4 square minus 3. That's the first one. That will be equal to, this will be the remainder, right? This is what you, if you're finding this, you will get a remainder part. But the question says that this remainder is also equal to this one's remainder. So how will you find that remainder? Same thing. Substitute this 4 there. What you will get? 2 into 4 cube minus 5 into 4 plus a, right? This is another one, so let me just separate that one. So this is another, right? Keeping that there. Okay, now we have to solve from this particular area, isn't it? So now tell me a into 4 cube. What is 4 cube? 4 into 4 into 4. 4 4s are 16, 16 4s are 64. So 64a plus 4 square. What is 4 square? 4 into 4, 16. 16 3s are 48, right? So 48 minus 3 is equal to, here 4 into 4 into 4. The cube of 4 is 64. 64 into 2 is 128 minus 5 4s are 20 plus a. So bring that variable to this part. So here it is already 64 is there. So I'm bringing 64a, bringing that a to here, it will become minus a. That's equal to, here already 128 minus 20, it is how much? 108, right? I'm just writing that one. 128 minus 20 is 108. 108, then here minus this 48 will go there. It will become plus 3, right? This will become minus 48, this will become plus 3. Then 64a minus a is 63a, and this is equal to, doing this one, how much you will get? That's also equal to 63. Now a is equal to 63 by 63, and that's equal to 1. So that's your answer. So this is the way how to understand. So understanding the question is very important. There is no need to do this in a vast, means in a long method. Actually just simplify like this. There is no need of steps because you are just facing one more question. So very fast, as far as possible, just clear it very fast. Just equate them together, then keep on going. And whenever you are finding the variables, bring all the variables to the left hand side and put all the number part to the right hand side, and towards the last you will get the answer. That's it. Now let's go to the next question, question number 5. The sum and product of a quadratic polynomial is 2 and 15 respectively. So the sum is given, the sum of zeros is given, the product of zeros is given, the sum of zeros is 2 and the product is 15. So we will, first of all, we will mention that one. Sum of zeros means we know that it is alpha plus beta. How much it is? It is 2. Then alpha beta is given, the product is given, it is 15. And you have to find the polynomial. So keep this in your mind that as it is given that's alpha and beta, then alpha beta is given, that means it's a quadratic polynomial is mentioned there. So whenever you want to find the quadratic polynomial, it's very easy. First of all, the quadratic polynomial, as it is on x, it will start with x square itself. So x square minus, keep this in your mind, after x square it will be minus. X square minus sum of the polynomials into x. That's the thing. Sum of the polynomials. What is sum of the polynomial? It is 2. So 2 into x plus product of the polynomial. What is product of the polynomial? 15. Isn't it easy? If you know the equation, this is easy. Means already the sum is given. Then the product is also given. So what you have to do? You have to just add them. X square. Then forget not to keep this minus. This is very important. Forget not to keep this minus there. This minus sign is very important. Towards the next of x square, the minus sign will come there. So minus x square minus. Then we will look on the sum of the zeros. As the sum of the zeros is 2, we mentioned the 2, that much x. Then plus, what's the last one? It is 15. The product is 15, that's why it is. So in other words, we can say like this, whenever you are hearing, you are seeing such a polynomial, just imagine that only this polynomial is given. So if this polynomial is given, what does this 2 means? I'm not talking about the sign here. What does this 2 means? This will be the sum of the polynomial. What does this final term means? The final term means that is the product of the polynomials. You must keep this in your mind. So keeping this in your mind, we can do much more problems. Very simply you can solve them if you understood this concept behind this one. Hope that this is clear. That's it. So let's go to the next question. So here you can see, if one zero of the polynomial 2x square minus 8x minus m is 5 by 2, find the other zero. So you know that quadratic polynomial means it's having 2 zeros. One of the 0 is given. So simply we can mention like this, let this be alpha, right? We are simply taking this as alpha. So what we have to find, the next one is beta. So from this polynomial, you have to understand which one should you select. I will tell you, there are 2 methods to do this one. One, it may be by choosing alpha plus beta, means by using the sum of the zeros, or it should be by finding the product of zeros. So here you can see the product of zeros, it is given as m, means it's an unknown number, we don't know what it is. But the sum is given as 8, right? So here we have nothing to deal with the product because the last term is not clearly mentioned. So let us go with the sum of the product. So tell me, what about sum of the product? This is what we call the A, and this is what we call B, and this is what we call C, right? And we know that here A is 2 and B is minus 8 and C is minus M. So sum of the products alpha plus beta, that's equal to minus B by A. This is the condition which we know. So minus B by A. So alpha plus beta. What is alpha? It is already 5 by 2. So we know that 5 by 2 plus beta is equal to minus of, what is the value of B? It is minus 8. So it is minus 8 divided by what is A? It is 2. That means we can this implies it is minus of minus 8 means 8 by 2. Right? So therefore we can write 5 by 2 plus beta is equal to, 5 by 2 is already given that, so 8 by 2 and taking this beta to next side, finding this beta is equal to 8 by 2 minus 5 by 2. Actually 8 by 2 is 4, we can write like this as 4, but I'm keeping that there itself because here you can see 5 by 2 when we are taking to that side, it will be much more easy. So now tell me, here 2, 8 minus 5 is 3, so 3 by 2 will be the second 0. So this is the way how to find that. By whenever you are getting a question like this, make it to the non-formula alpha plus beta, that is the sum of the zeros of a polynomial. It is minus B by A. Even if it is for a quadratic polynomial or even if it is a cubic polynomial, it's the same equation. It is minus B by A itself for sum of the product. But when you are considering about the product of the roots, when we are taking the product of the roots, at the time it is different. In this condition it will be C by A, and if you are considering the cubic equation, at the time it will become minus D by A. That's the difference. Okay, so I tell you that for quadratic equation and for cubic equation, it becomes the same equation, minus B by A. Substitute the value, you will get the answer. It's easy, right? Okay, now let us go to one more question. So here goes the next question before you. A polynomial is given. If alpha and beta are the roots of the polynomial f of x is equal to x square plus x plus 1, find 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. So you have to find the value of 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. So normally what you will do, some students they will do like this, that first of all by this given polynomial, from the given polynomial they will find the alpha, then they will find the beta, and then they will take the reciprocals, then they will add. That means you are going to do something like a 4-mark problem. So forget not, this is a MCQ question, and so there will be something idea in which we can get the answer very fast, right? So yes, we are going to come to that idea. That's what I'm going to mention right now. So what is 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta? We know that 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta can be written like this. Alpha beta, you are taking the LCM, and on the top it will become beta plus alpha, or we can write it as alpha plus beta. So that means alpha plus beta by alpha beta. That's what you have to find. So if this is there in your mind, very fast you will get. See, without doing anything, without solving, without trying a lengthy method and solving that one, we are going to come to the answer. Here is the trick behind it. That's equal to, when you are seeing a polynomial, earlier I mentioned you that if it is a polynomial in which the first term, that means this quadratic equation, and the very first coefficient, if it is 1, then definitely we can say that this part, okay, this is the general form. So regarding the general form, we can say that the center part, that will be the sum of the polynomials, isn't it? Sum of the zeros, and the final one will be the product of zeros. Because we already know, whenever you are writing a polynomial, how you will write a polynomial? X square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta. That's the way how you will write it. This is the general form. So this one, alpha plus beta, that will be the center term. So here you can say it is in a x, it is 1 itself. What is the number before that one? It is 1 itself. So we can say this alpha plus beta, that is 1. That is 1. And is it 1 or is it minus 1? That is the question, because here you can see x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta, that is the form. So if you are bringing this one into this form, you can write like this: x square minus 1 into x plus 1, right? Because minus 1 into 1, it will become plus 1. So x square plus x plus 1, x square plus x plus 1, right? So here, instead of alpha plus beta, you can see it is minus 1. and instead of alpha beta it is plus 1. So let us substitute here alpha plus beta, it is minus 1. So minus 1 divided by alpha beta, it is 1. That's equal to minus 1. You got the answer, isn't it? So I will give you one more question. Let me see how much of you are going to do that one. Question number 7. So I'm just changing the polynomial here. Let me change the polynomial. So here goes the question before you. P of x is equal to 4x square plus 3x plus 7. There is a difference between these two questions. That's why I'm mentioning this question, because here you can see the coefficient of x square is not 1. So here you have to do something. So first of all, this is the same question that you have to find 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta itself. But here, first of all, you have to find alpha plus beta, because you know that 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta means alpha plus beta by alpha beta. So tell me, what is alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta is minus b by a, right? It is minus b by a. That is minus of, this is the b, right? So minus 3 by a is 4. Then what about alpha beta? It is c by a. What is c by a? Here the c is 7 by 4. That is c by a. So here you can say alpha plus beta. Instead of alpha plus beta, we will write minus 3 by 4 divided by alpha beta. It is 7 by 4. 4 and 4 will get cancelled. Finally, you will get minus 3 by 7. So that will be the answer. So in this method, you can find the solution for this one. The only thing which you have to understand means when you are getting a question, first of all, you have to focus in that question. When you're focusing in that one, you can understand that what is the term given there. See here, in the first one, you have to find 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. So what you done? Instead of finding alpha and beta differently and then finding the reciprocals and then adding them together, just leave all those things behind. There is an easier method. What is it? Alpha plus beta by alpha beta. Alpha plus beta means it is the sum of the roots. Alpha beta means it's the product of the roots. To find the sum of the roots, you know it is minus b by a. To find the product of the roots, it is c by a. By using these two equations, very fast you can conclude through the solution, right? You can come forward very fast to the solution. So that's the way what we have to do this one, so as to get the answer or the solution in an easier method. Here also you can see the polynomial is given and 1 by alpha and 1 by beta you have to find. I told you here that alpha plus beta and alpha beta, that's the thing which you have to find. So first of all, you found alpha plus beta. It is minus b by a, you found it. Then you found alpha beta, it is 7 by 4. Then just substitute here. All these things you have to do in your working column, right? You have to do all these things in your working column, and once you get from there, you search the answer inside your question. That means inside your OMR sheet, and mark the relevant bubble. Just darken the relevant bubble. Marking the bubble is so important, so make sure you get the right answer, then mark it. Surely you will never miss a single mark from this chapter. So this is the way how to understand this one. That's enough for today's topic, and tomorrow we will come to the next section. Till then, take care and goodbye.